It's funny to see so many cars in the park. Tower Grove Park banned cars toward the beginning of the coronavirus stuff so that people would have plenty of room to social distance. But over here, there are lots of cars and lots of people and lots of beeping from machinery. Whoa, here it comes. Can you hear the shouts? It's starting to move. Oh, it's going a little sideways. There it is, it's off. It's off, it is off the pedestal and they are removing it to the left. It's hanging on a crane from a bunch of yellow rope. I don't know what the cost of the statue removal is. That's a good question. This is something that Tower Grove Park has been thinking about for a long time, so I bet we can find that information out. I'll ask my reporter. Thank you for the question. Hadiah for life. Okay, so if you're just joining us, this is where the Christopher Columbus statue used to be. On the grand side of Tower Grove Park, got a crowd. They just removed it, just as we were walking up. When they loosened it from the foundation, a cheer went up. I want to go get a look as closely as possible at the statue itself. Yeah, if you typically come to Tower Grove Park, you know that at the top of that pedestal up there that we're looking at usually is a figure, usually a statue. He is no longer there. Christopher Columbus is out of Tower Grove Park. Let's go find him. How's it going? You had to come see it for yourself too? Is that how she knew about it? Well, thank you to you. When you came an hour and a half ago, was it just like a bunch of cords tied around it and stuff? Chat, can y'all hear me? It's loud over here. If you can hear me, throw a heart in the chat. to give up for this job. Thank you, Hoopty. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Somebody asked if these were city crews. I don't know if these are city crews or not. It doesn't look like it to me. I don't see any like St. Louis City logos on the trucks, for example. Usually there's a City of St. Louis logo on the truck. I don't see any of that. Thank you guys for the hearts. I wanted to make sure that you could hear me. It is loud over here. It's loud because of this crane that they're using to remove it. I'll show you this. That's where it used to be. Right there. Hoop City, I don't know who is contracting this. I don't know who the workers are, but we'll find out. I will say this is not, it's unexpected that it's happening right now. We were just talking, we had a story about this yesterday, and there was not an indication that this was going to happen today. But that said, this is something that Tower Grove Park has been thinking about for at least a couple of years. They've had a committee get together of people from the community to talk about what do they want to see. Do they want to see it torn down? Do they want to see it kept up there with some sort of like contextual plaque, stuff like that? So to see it torn down today is really a surprise. I say torn down, removed. As you can see, they've like taken the figure himself down. They're putting him on some planks onto the back of a truck. And the pedestal he used to stand on, the pedestal still says the art century of Christopher Columbus, something like that. So there's still Christopher Columbus stuff on the pedestal. I wonder what they'll do with that. You can hear the helicopter above me. If you're just joining us, I'm in Tower Grove Park near the Grand side. And what you're looking at is the statue of Christopher Columbus that used to sit right at the traffic circle right there at the eastern entrance to Tower Grove Park. Now, instead of the statue, there's just a pedestal, and then this statue guy is on this truck over here. I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I have to say this is a bit of a surprise. Tower Grove Park has been studying what to do with the statue for a while. They had a committee of people, like community members, talk about what they wanted, and the last time we heard, we were just talking about this last night because we were reporting on it yesterday. Last we heard, they were going to keep it and have like a plaque explain the context. Yeah, Martin and STL, it's this. This is why. That is the Christopher Columbus statue. It looks like they're using like railroad ties. I have no idea where the statue is going. I will say this is kind of a surprise decision. I only knew about it because my reporter came out and took a picture of it. And it sounds like she only knew about it because her boyfriend was out here running this morning and saw it. So sometimes that's how the news happens. What folks in the chat have told me is that the executive director sent out a letter this morning. So that letter might have more information. But I promise that we, St. Louis Public Radio, will have more information. I promise. We'll have more info before long. My job is just to show you show it happening to you, especially so that in coronavirus times you don't have to come out on your own. I would say there's a crowd of like 20 people here smattered throughout, still very social distancing. I see a handful of masks. Thank you, Coffee Man. I don't know what's gonna happen to this statue then. All right, they've got him in place, and they just climbed right back into the crane. Hi, Jeff. If you're just joining us, this is the Christopher Columbus statue in Tower Grove Park. You can see the workers in the crane getting ready to do something. It goes all the way up here. Sorry guys, I'm still learning how to use this gimbal. There he is. Hello, Mr. Columbus. This is the Christopher Columbus statue, formerly standing in Tower Grove Park. I'm in Tower Grove Park on the east side near Grand. This is the Christopher Columbus statue, what had once stood. I used to stand in Tower Grove Park right over here. See that pedestal? The pedestal still says Christopher Columbus on it, but Christopher Columbus himself is over here. This is the Christopher Columbus statue in Tower Grove South. He's really leaning with it, rocking with it. This. If you are just joining us, this is the Christopher Columbus statue. It formerly stood in Tower Grove Park on the east side of the park. They removed it. As they removed it with a crane, one large cheer went out. I would say there's about 20 people here gathered around, some wearing masks, everybody's social distancing. And then they moved it over onto this bed, onto this trailer, set up a bunch of wood pieces around it. There it is. That is the Christopher Columbus statue getting, he's been laid down in the trailer. He's getting tied up and secured. If you see this in the Post-Dispatch tomorrow morning, here's the photographer who's taking the photo. So you'll know what angle they were at. There he is. Fully on his right side. The statue, the Christopher Columbus statue, is officially off of its pedestal and is getting secured to the trailer so it can be removed from Tower Grove Park. I like that this guy's filming it too. Okay, so they've removed the strap that they used to pick it up. They removed the strap that they used to like carry it off of the pedestal, and now they're strapping it into the truck. You can see, thank you, Coffee Man. Coffee Man, what would I do without you? That is the Christopher Columbus statue. And that is where it used to be. Right there. Used to be there, and now we are. Hi. How's it going? I'm here and we're watching it live. I'm not able to do anything but stream it live, so I can't help you with any other reporting. But if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
I've got tons of photos that I've taken.
I'm talking to my reporter Shayla Farzan. Shayla, you don't know where this is going, do you?
I don't actually. This is the first that we've heard of it. So my partner was actually jogging in the park this morning, and he said, "There's something you're going to want to see." They're taking the statue down. So we quick ran and got in the car and came over here. But as far as I know, there was no publicity. There was no press release about this. This was done at 7 in the morning on a Tuesday morning. So I think they were hoping to avoid this kind of crowd. But that's speculation at this point.
Sure. Well, we were just talking about this because Kay covered this yesterday for us, and their story is still on our homepage. And we talked about it on the live stream last night, and yeah, there was no indication that this was going to happen. In fact, the last time we checked on this story, the statue was going to stay, and there was going to be a contextual plaque that went up. The Post-Dispatch reporter was over here and watching it go down, and she was like, man, there's some real symbolism here.
Absolutely.
That's who knows symbolism, y'all, photographers.
The actual removal process took quite a while, like at least, I think 45 minutes or so. There was a lot of securing the statue, using crowbars to remove it. I'm not sure if you were here for that.
Right as I got here, they were removing it, and I was able to hear like a loud cheer, but like just like one single loud hurrah,
Right.
as it came up. Oh, now there's a Fox News helicopter above us, so you might, if you turn on Fox 2, you might see a live stream of this.
One thing that I did notice, though, is that they were definitely taking a lot of care with the statue. They did not toppling of the statue like what you would see in Iraq.
Totally.
Very careful removal. So I'll be curious to see where it goes.
Got some TV news crews starting to set up. Jeff, I don't see this park erecting a statue of Donald Trump, but who knows? Okay, here we go. So now we're strapping the statue in. Folks have been walking around taking pictures. I don't just mean the people who are watching this like for history's sake. I mean people who are involved in the removal. You can see them like Shayla was saying, being very careful, strapping it in carefully, taking pictures to show how it was transported. It definitely looks to me like they're taking it to somewhere, maybe to go into storage, maybe to be on display in a museum, right? There are a lot of options for a statue once it goes. Just ask the ancient Greeks. It's not the first time we've taken down a statue. But this really was a surprise. If you're just joining us, this is the Christopher Columbus statue in St. Louis's Tower Grove Park. You're not witnessing like a tearing down of the statue like you've seen in London, like you've seen in some other cities. This is not like a people-centered movement to tear down the statue and get rid of it. This is an organized effort by Tower Grove Park to remove the Christopher Columbus statue. As you can see, they're being very they're strapping it into the truck. They're going to take it away. And see, that truck doesn't have St. Louis City decals on it, and I don't see any official St. Louis City decals. People were asking who are doing this. I don't think it's official city crews. I think it's private contractors. And Tower Grove is a private park. I can't tell if everyone around us is wearing athletic clothes because it's 2020 and all we wear is athletic clothes anymore, or because everybody was running in the park. The Christopher Columbus statue used to be over there. There's a big old pedestal. It's in the middle of like a traffic circle right on the entrance to Tower Grove Park from Grand. Grand is a big road here. It's right by South Grand, which is a district with a lot of international businesses and restaurants, just in case you're not from St. Louis. That is where the Christopher Columbus statue used to be. That's the crane that lifted it up and removed it. And that's where it is now. That's where it is now. And these are all the people who are watching history. This was a big surprise. We were just talking about this yesterday. We had a story about things that people want to change. Like as a growing civil rights movement roils folks, as it prompts protests. I mean, here in the St. Louis area, you're seeing like multiple protests a day, not centrally organized, just people, teachers, families, civic groups, all wanting to come out into their community in Baldwin, Webster Grove, St. Anne's, Central St. Louis City, wherever. Protesting, demonstrating for Black Lives Matter, demonstrating against police killings, something that the St. Louis region has known a lot about for years, but especially since 2014 when Ferguson happened. So there's been like this national, really international, there's been an international movement to take down statues that have representative meanings that go against this civil rights movement that we're seeing roil our cities. And in London, in cities around the US, they've torn down, for example, statues of people that were slave traders. Those statues were torn down by people like in popular movements, and then sometimes they're spray painted, sometimes they're thrown into a lake or a river or whatever. This is being officially removed, respectfully. Oh man, you can see this. That worker was going around looking at the pedestal for the statue. I don't know what will happen to the pedestal. I don't even know what will happen to the statue. So Channel 4 just tried to get some answers. And I will. So a Channel 4 cameraman walked up to someone who must be in charge. Oh, there it goes. And asked where it was going, and they said no comment. They said they're going to let the statement stand for itself. The park put out a statement this morning. I haven't seen it. Shout out to Coffee Man who let me know it's there. I promise that we will have... We've got a reporter out here, Shayla Farzan. You may have heard her voice earlier. Shayla has been taking photos and reporting on this. My colleague Kay Petrin has also been reporting on this. So we will have more answers for you, I promise. If you have questions that you'd like us to answer, though, please feel free to put them in the chat. But what you're looking at is the Christopher Columbus statue that used to stand over here. Used to be there. Now it is here. Got some guys getting in the truck, looking like they're about to take it away. Here we go. Arrivederci to Christopher Columbus. There was precisely one whoop sound when the statue came down, and there was precisely one whoop sound as